Why did humans invent religion? It might be one of the most controversial questions anyone can ask. For billions of people, religion wasn't invented, it was revealed. A message from something greater than ourselves. For others, religion is one of humanity's greatest creations. A way to explain the unknown, to survive, to find meaning. But what if the question isn't about proving who is right? What if the real mystery is why nearly every civilization on Earth developed remarkably similar beliefs, long before the internet? Long before books, long before civilizations ever met. People across the world believed in invisible beings. They prayed. They buried their dead with care. They imagined an afterlife. They told stories about creation. They searched for something beyond themselves. Why? Was it coincidence? Or is there something deep inside the human mind that naturally leads us toward belief? To answer that, we have to travel back to the very beginning. To a world where science didn't exist. Imagine waking up 50,000 years ago. There are no cities, no electricity, no medicine, no explanations. A flash of lightning tears across the sky. Thunder shakes the ground. The sun disappears every evening. The moon changes shape. People become sick without warning. Children are born. Loved ones die. Everything around you feels mysterious. Everything feels alive. Today we understand storms through physics, disease through biology, the stars through astronomy, but our ancestors had none of those answers. They still had the questions. And the human brain hates unanswered questions. Scientists have discovered something fascinating about the way our minds evolved. Our ancestors survived because they were incredibly good at detecting danger. Imagine walking through tall grass. Something moves. Was it just the wind, or was it a predator? If you assume it's only the wind when a lion is hiding nearby, you don't survive. But if you assume danger is there, even when it isn't, you live to see another day. Over thousands of generations, the human brain became incredibly sensitive to detecting agency, to seeing intentions behind events, to assuming someone or something was responsible. Psychologists call this hyperactive agency detection. It may have saved our lives, but it also changed the way humans viewed the world. Suddenly, the storm wasn't just weather. Something caused it. The river wasn't just water. It had a spirit. The mountain wasn't just rock. It was alive. The invisible became just as important as the visible. The human brain has another remarkable ability. It searches for patterns, constantly. This ability helped us survive. If certain berries made someone sick, remember them. If animals gathered near water before sunrise, learn the pattern. But this powerful skill comes with a side effect. Sometimes we find patterns that aren't actually there. We connect unrelated events. We search for meaning inside randomness. A dream feels like a message. A coincidence feels like destiny. A successful hunt after a ritual makes the ritual feel powerful. The brain begins connecting everything, because finding meaning is often more comforting than accepting randomness. Then came perhaps the greatest question any human has ever faced: death. At some point, our ancestors became aware of something no other known species seems to fully understand. One day, they would no longer exist. That realization changes everything. Where did the people we loved go? Would we ever see them again? Why do good people die? Why do children die? Why does suffering exist? Science couldn't answer those questions, not yet. Religion could. It offered hope where there was uncertainty, purpose where there was confusion, meaning where there was loss. Whether those answers came from divine revelation or from the human search for understanding is something people still debate today. But there is little doubt that they shaped civilizations. As human groups grew larger, another challenge appeared. How do thousands of strangers live together peacefully? Small tribes rely on family. Large civilizations cannot. They need shared rules, shared values, shared stories. Religion became one of the most powerful forces ever created for cooperation. If everyone believes honesty matters, trust grows. If everyone believes murder is wrong, communities become safer. If everyone believes promises matter, trade becomes possible. Many historians argue that religion helped unite enormous populations long before modern governments existed. Shared belief became shared identity. It allowed complete strangers to work together towards something greater than themselves. Then something extraordinary happened across the planet. Civilizations that had never met each other began telling surprisingly similar stories. Ancient Egypt believed in powerful gods governing life and death. The Greeks imagined gods controlling nature. The Norse believed the universe had a beginning and an end. The Maya told stories about creation. Mesopotamia preserved some of humanity's oldest religious writings. Ancient China honored heaven and ancestors. India developed complex spiritual traditions thousands of years ago. The names were different, the rituals were different, but many of the ideas were remarkably familiar. Creation, morality, sacrifice, prayer, and afterlife. Higher powers watching humanity, why would completely separate cultures arrive at ideas that seem so similar? Some scholars believe it reveals common features of the human mind. Others believe it points toward a deeper truth shared by humanity. The evidence alone cannot settle that debate. Among all religious texts, few have shaped history as profoundly as the Bible. Its stories influenced laws, art, music, literature, language, politics, entire civilizations were built around its teachings. From a historical perspective, the Bible developed over centuries through multiple authors, oral traditions, and written texts for believers. Those writings are inspired by God. For historians, they also preserve the hopes, fears, struggles, and values of ancient societies, regardless of where someone stands. Its impact on human history is impossible to deny. Very few books have changed the world so completely. Today, we understand far more about the universe than our ancestors ever could. We know why lightning strikes, why planets move, why diseases spread, yet religion has not disappeared. In fact, billions of people continue to believe, not because science failed, but because science and religion often attempt to answer different kinds of questions. Science asks how, religion often asks why. Why are we here? Why is there something instead of nothing? What gives life meaning? Those questions remain deeply human, and they continue to inspire both belief and skepticism. So why did humans invent religion? Maybe they didn't. Maybe religion emerged naturally as our brains evolved to search for meaning, patterns, and purpose. Maybe it was shaped by the challenges of survival and civilization. Or maybe those universal human experiences prepared us to recognize something that was always there. No archaeological discovery, no psychology experiment, and no scientific theory has fully answered that question. What we do know is this. For tens of thousands of years, humans have looked up at the same sky, asked the same impossible questions, and searched for something greater than themselves. Perhaps that search, more than anything else, is what truly makes us human.